We had the funniest conversation the other night. We went out, we shot something with Nick and David, and it went really well. It was like old times, We were even in the Tesla, and then we were driving home, and you know how like if Nick or I say something to David, like he won't really entertain it.
Yeah.
But Vardan was so great. Vardan just in the back seat, and he was all hyped up from the bit. The bit went really well, and he was just like, "Yo, David, like, what's next? What's next?" And he was like, well, what do you mean?" He's like, "Why don't you vlog, man? Why don't you vlog? The people want it." And then of course Nick was like,
"People want it."
Jonah was like, he's like, shut the hell up, Vardan. He's like, he's a billionaire. He doesn't need to vlog. But then Vardan kept pushing David, and I was loving it. I was loving it so much. Because you could see that Vardan was like breaking through a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because when we got back to the house, David was like, "Well, I do like the enthusiasm." Yeah. It was really funny.
He's like, do I start vlogging because of Vardan? He starts vlogging for Vardan.
Yeah. He might. He might. Like you could see that like, Vardan was the only person that could like.
Yeah.
That's your gift, man.
No way.
That is your gift.
Wow.
You just have like a great way with people. You're great to be around. You're so genuine.
America's sweetheart.
Yeah.
Is there a sweetheart for males?
I think it's Vardan.
Yeah. America's sweetheart.
I can see him on the cover of People magazine one day. Sexiest man alive.
America's sweetheart. Imagine People magazine reaches out to Vardan and say, "Do you want your curb painted?"
Right now I'm not streaming as much. I'm trying to do painting curbs and like this whole like thing that's going on, because honestly, like I listened to what David and what everybody talked about recently, and it was just like, it was a real big eye-opener, I've been doing the streaming stuff for the past 2 years, and I've put my all into it.
Right.
Like, I've put many hours into it. I've, like, worked. I've not slept nights, and the next day I had school, and I was just, every single day, clips, YouTube videos, like, I would just stream from 10 hours a day, and I just there was like a point wherever like there was no one watching either. Yeah. I had like, even whenever I'd post on my IG stories, everybody would unfollow me, and I would tell myself, I'd be like, man, this is really how it is, huh? I was like, wow, I really took those good times for granted,
Right.
Wherever I used to have so much, but I took it all for granted, and I just never knew how valuable that really was until now. And then I started failing so much, and I just told myself, I'm like, man, it's over. It's over. I've been at it for...
It's over.
It's over. I've been at it for 2 years.
Vardan.
I know.
It's never over. It's just about the work you can put in.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Nights I would get so demotivated. I was like, dude, I'm like, I have nothing. Like I have all the fortune and everything that I once had. I have none of it. I don't even make a single cent. If anything, I get bullied at school because the kids at school, they would all make fun of me for my live streams. They would say, I told you about that.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, they would say stuff. I don't know. They were like, "Oh, what are you doing? You're not gonna make it. Why are you trying so hard? You're only gonna be David's little assistant and stuff." And just like they were just like,
doesn't that fuel you?
It does fuel me.
Good.
But I tried and tried. That's the thing. I used all that fuel into my work, and it just kept failing and failing and failing. And I was just like, man, I was like, I just like went. I prayed. I was like, God, please, if you can hear me. Please, like, I'm sick of it. I don't know what to do now. I don't know.
He's talking to God, but he still has the Fortnite headset on, so he thinks God is answering him. It's just his friend Jack. God, can you hear me? Yeah, I can.
Right here,
I'm here. I'm right here, pussy.
And I didn't want anybody at school to know about it, because people were already like teasing on me at school.
Yeah.
And they were like saying like stuff to me at school because of me streaming.
Right.
So I was like, if people know that I paint curbs, they're gonna think I'm a complete freaking hobo. It's gonna be like, everyone's gonna be like, who is this guy?
Dude, you have to come to a point in your life where you should not care about what people say.
You're right. I agree.
Oh,
Like,
that's
don't-
so hard though. I mean,
It's so
I
hard.
care about what people think.
I don't care. Unless you're paying my bills,
Yeah.
I could care less.
No, don't say that. Don't say
No,
that.
it's
Don't-
not.
Listen,
because
listen.
everybody. Hold
Wait,
up, let
no,
me say something.
Can I?
No,
wait.
can I talk because I was talking?
Okay.
But everybody always has something to say, Vardan. Everybody always has something to say.
No, I agree with you completely, but at the same time, you're saying that, but you don't fully mean that because you care a lot about what people say. So, what my point here being is that eventually you do care a little bit about what people
You
say.
definitely do care a little
you
bit.
Wait, let me. You might say that, oh, like 80% I don't care, but at least like 20% you do care. Like most times I wouldn't really care too much about like what people say.
Yeah.
But like there's also times where it just really gets to me, you know?
Yeah.
And like it's like
What's
it's
something
like,
someone said that got to you?
there's been a lot of things. So I mean
What's the worst?
there was this girl I liked and I would talk to her and we would have like a little friend group. And one time we were with the friends and I had shoes, but my shoes had holes in them.
Yeah.
So I would
I know
go.
the story.
Yeah, I've told you this story so many times. It's a core memory of mine. It's so embarrassing. Every time I think about it, I'm like, oh my God. You know, but I went to school and I had holes in my shoes.
Yeah.
And then the girl one time she's like, what's that on your shoe I always see? And then I said nothing and I covered my other shoe with my shoe. And they were big holes too. Like half the shoe was gone.
Sure.
Like I swear, like half of the shoe.
Yeah.
I was
Because your foot's growing. and
Yeah,
it's,
my
like,
foot's growing, so it's
not
like
rocking right through the shoe.
exactly,
Yeah.
and it's just small. And I was like nothing. And then after that, she's like, no, there's something. There's a hole right there in your shoe.
Hey, you're seeing
And then
double,
I'm
girl.
like, look, and then I'm like, oh, whoa, where did this hole come from? I tried making it seem like I had no idea where that hole came from. But I know I put those same shoes on.
Sure.
You know? And then I was just like, I went back to the car and I told my mom, like, whenever school finished, like, I couldn't even focus on my classes. It was like the beginning of the day too, and I just couldn't focus on my classes.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I felt like so pathetic, you know? I was like,
Because of the
damn,
holes in
man.
your shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was
That's
like,
tough.
the whole time I was just like scared people were all looking at it. Like I kept looking back to back. Like I was like, oh, everybody's looking at it.
Yeah.
And then after that, I told my mom and I started crying. I was in the car. I was like, we have nothing. I was like,
I thought Dad picked you up.
no, not that day. That's another day. That's another
Okay.
embarrassing
That's
story.
really funny because I have holes in my shoes and I wear them all the time and I never think about it.
No way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But when you're a kid, that is embarrassing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Especially
So-
if it's like a girl you like.
Yeah. And she
Like, you like
pointed it
that
out.
girl.
Oh,
And
you
then-
like the girl, yeah.
And then after that, she's like, I was like, we have nothing. I was like, why is there a hole in my shoe? And I was crying. And then me and my mom, we went to Ross and she bought me like Adidas.
I don't
It
know
was like
why
30,
I
40 bucks, but
I don't know why I remember that day. My mom called me and she's like, I am taking Vardan, my king, to Ross.